My name is Hannah Pierce. I'm 28 years old, and I'll never forget the exact moment my phone lit up with a banking alert that changed everything. Tuesday, November 14th, 2:47 p.m. I was sitting in my San Francisco office, halfway through a design review meeting when my phone buzzed. Withdrawal attempt, $6,500. Location, Wells Fargo, Sacramento, CA. My blood went cold. I was in San Francisco. My debit card was in my wallet, and the only other person who had access to that old joint checking account from college was my mother. The same mother who 3 weeks earlier had laughed in my face at Thanksgiving dinner and said, "Vacations for family, without you." But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to that Thanksgiving, to the moment that set all of this in motion. Because understanding what happened that day will help you understand why I did what I did next, and why I do it again. I grew up in Sacramento as the middle child in what looked like a perfect family from the outside. My older sister, Chloe, was the golden child, married young, 2 kids, the kind of daughter who brought homemade pies to family dinners and never questioned anything. My younger brother Tyler was the baby, the one who could do no wrong even when he dropped out of college twice and moved back home at 25. And then there was me, Hannah, the one with the cute little design hobby who lived too far away and visited too infrequently and never quite fit the mold my mother had carved out for what a good daughter should be. I'd moved to San Francisco 6 years ago after getting my degree in graphic design from UC Davis, started as a junior designer at a small startup, worked my way up, jumped to a bigger company, then another. By the time I was 28, I was a senior product designer at a mid-sized tech company making $95,000 a year. Not rich by San Francisco standards, but comfortable, stable, independent. My family saw my success differently. To them, my salary meant I could afford to help out, could cover the family phone plan because you don't have kids, what do you need all that money for? Could pay for groceries when I visited because you make so much more than we do. Could wire money when Tyler needed to fix his car, when Chloe's kids needed school supplies, when my parents needed help with bills they'd somehow mismanaged despite both working full-time. I said yes every time, because that's what good daughters do, right? They help. They don't complain. They don't keep score. Except I was keeping score in a way I didn't even realize. Every yes chipped away at something inside me. Every expectation accepted without question made me smaller. Every time I prioritized their needs over my own boundaries, I taught them that my boundaries didn't matter. The Thanksgiving incident started innocently enough. The whole family was gathered at my parents' house: Mom, Dad, Chloe and her husband Greg, their kids Mason and Emma, Tyler, and me. We were sitting around the table after dinner, that comfortable food coma stage where conversation gets loose and easy. Chloe started talking about a vacation they were planning, a week in Maui over Christmas, beach resort, all-inclusive, the works. "It's going to be amazing," she said, showing photos on her phone of the resort. "The kids are so excited. Mom and Dad are coming too." I looked up from my phone. "Wait, what? You're all going to Maui?" My mom waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, we've been planning this for months. Didn't we tell you?" "No," I said slowly. "You definitely didn't tell me." "Well, it's just family," my mother said, as if that explained everything. "We need this time together. You know how it is." I felt something cold settle in my chest. "I'm family." Chloe jumped in, her voice that particular pitch of false cheerfulness she used when trying to smooth things over. "Hannah, come on. You're so busy with work. We didn't think you'd want to come anyway. You never take time off." "You didn't ask," I pointed out. "Because we knew you wouldn't," my mother said, a slight edge in her voice now. "And honestly, Hannah, we need a relaxing vacation, not one where we're accommodating someone who's going to be on her laptop the whole time." Tyler laughed, not a sympathetic laugh, a mocking one. "Yeah, remember Dad's birthday trip? You spent half of it on work calls." "I was on one call. 1 for an hour because we had a product launch crisis. See? My mother set down her wine glass with a decisive click. That's exactly what we're trying to avoid. We want to relax. We want family time, real family time, without work getting in the way. I looked around the table. My father was studying his plate, saying nothing. Chloe was scrolling through more resort photos like this conversation wasn't happening. Tyler was smirking. Greg looked uncomfortable but stayed silent. So, let me get this straight. You planned a family vacation, didn't invite me, and your explanation is that I work too much? Don't be dramatic, my mother said. It's not that we didn't invite you. We knew you wouldn't want to come. And honestly, the villa we rented only has 4 bedrooms. It's perfect for Mom, Dad, Chloe's family, and Tyler. There's not really room anyway.
You could have gotten a bigger place. Hannah, my mother's voice went cold. Don't make this difficult. We're going on vacation. You're busy with your career. It's fine. Adults don't need to do everything together. That's when she said it. The line that would echo in my head for weeks. She leaned back in her chair, picked up her wine glass, and smiled. Not a warm smile, a dismissive one. Vacations for family. Without you. The table went quiet. Even Tyler stopped smirking. Chloe's eyes went wide. My father finally looked up, opened his mouth like he might say something, then closed it again. Greg coughed awkwardly. I set down my fork, stood up, grabbed my purse. You know what? You're right. Enjoy your vacation. I walked out. Didn't yell, didn't cry, just left. I heard my mother call after me, Hannah, don't be childish. But I kept walking, got in my car, drove back to San Francisco, and the whole 2-hour drive, all I could think was, vacations for family without you. That was 3 weeks before the bank alert. In those 3 weeks, something shifted inside me. I didn't call my family, didn't respond to the couple of half-hearted texts from Chloe asking if I was still mad, didn't answer when my mother called once, probably to tell me I was overreacting. I just stopped. Stopped checking in, stopped being available, stopped performing the role of the accommodating daughter who absorbed every slight with grace, and I started paying attention to my finances in a way I hadn't before. Started really looking at where my money was going. The family phone plan I'd been covering for 3 years, $180 a month. The occasional money I sent Tyler, averaging $400 a month over the past year. The groceries I bought every time I visited, $200 to $300 per visit, and I visited monthly. The birthday gifts, the Christmas presents, the "can you help with" expenses that popped up regularly. I made a spreadsheet, 3 years of bank statements, highlighted and categorized. The total made me feel sick. $31,000 that could have been a down payment on a condo, could have been invested, could have been saved for my future, my goals, my life. Instead, it had disappeared into the black hole of family obligations with nothing to show for it except the knowledge that I was still the daughter who wasn't important enough to invite on vacation. That's when I made my first decision. I called the phone company and removed everyone except myself from the family plan. They'd have to set up their own accounts. Then I texted my mom, FYI, I've taken myself off the family phone plan. Everyone will need to set up their own service. I can send you the info if you need it. She called immediately. I didn't answer. She called again and again. Finally, she texted, "What are you doing? Is this about Thanksgiving? You're being ridiculous." I didn't respond. I was done explaining myself. The thing about that old joint checking account, the one I'd opened with my mother when I was 18 and starting college, was that I'd mostly forgotten about it. I'd moved all my main banking to a different bank years ago, but I kept the old account open with maybe $200 in it, linked to my main account as an overdraft backup I never used. I'd meant to close it a dozen times, but never got around to it. And my mother was still listed as a joint account holder because back then she'd said it was just in case of emergencies, honey. What if something happens and you need help? Nothing had ever happened. The account just sat there, basically dormant, until November 14th. I was in a meeting when that alert came through. Withdrawal attempt $6,500. My stomach dropped. I excused myself, stepped into the hallway, and called the bank immediately. This is Hannah Pierce. I just got an alert about a withdrawal attempt on my account ending in 4721. I did not authorize this. The bank rep pulled up my account. Yes, Miss Pierce, there was an attempted withdrawal at our Sacramento branch about 15 minutes ago. It was declined due to insufficient funds. There's currently $247 in the account. Who attempted the withdrawal? It was an in-person transaction at a teller window. The co-account holder was requesting a withdrawal. My mother. My mother had walked into a bank and tried to withdraw $6,500 on an account that barely had $200 in it. My hands were shaking. I need to close this account immediately. Today, right now. There was a pause. Let me transfer you to our account services department. 20 minutes later, I'd closed the account, transferred the remaining balance to my main checking, and documented everything. The rep confirmed that yes, there had been an attempted withdrawal for $6,500, that it had been denied, and that Linda Pierce, my mother, had been quite upset at the denial. She'd apparently argued with the teller, insisting the money was for family and that she had every right to access it. I sat in an empty conference room staring at my phone, trying to process what had just happened. My mother had tried to steal $6,500 from my account. No call, no text asking if she could borrow money, just walked into a bank and tried to take it. And the only reason she failed was because I kept barely any money in that old account. But here's the thing that really got me. If that account had been linked to my main checking as an overdraft backup, the transaction might have gone through. The bank might have pulled from my primary account to cover it. I could have lost $6,500 without even realizing it until I checked my statements. My phone started buzzing, my mother calling. I watched it ring, then go to voicemail. She called again, voicemail, again, voicemail. Then texts started coming through. Hannah, call me back. We need to talk. There's been a misunderstanding at the bank. Pick up your phone. This is ridiculous. I'm your mother. I blocked her number. Then I did something I'd been thinking about for weeks. I opened my laptop, pulled up that spreadsheet of all the money I'd given them, and added a new line. Attempted theft, $6,500. Then I took screenshots of everything. The bank alert, the call log showing my mother's repeated calls, the account closure confirmation, everything. Because I had a feeling this was about to get much worse before it got better. I was right. By that evening, my phone was blowing up from numbers I hadn't blocked. Chloe, Tyler, my father, even Greg, Chloe's husband, who I'd maybe had 3 direct conversations with in 5 years. I finally answered Chloe's call. What? Han, what the hell? Mom is freaking out. What did you do? What did I do? I almost laughed. Did she tell you she tried to withdraw $6,500 from my account without asking me? Silence. Then, she said there was a misunderstanding at the bank, that it was for the vacation deposit and she thought you'd agreed to help pay for it. I wasn't even invited on the vacation, Chloe. Why would I pay for it? Well, you make more money than everyone else, and it's a family vacation. You thought I'd pay for a vacation I'm not going on? Mom said you'd understand, that you'd want to help. I felt very calm suddenly, eerily calm. Chloe, she tried to take money from my account without my permission. That's not asking for help. That's theft.
You're being dramatic.
It's Mom. She wouldn't steal from you. She literally tried to withdraw $6,500 without telling me. Because she knew you'd say no. You're always so tight with money lately. Ever since Thanksgiving, you've been acting weird. You cut off the phone plan, you won't return Mom's calls. She told me vacation was for family without me. She didn't mean it like that. You're taking everything so personally. We need you to talk to Mom. She's really upset, and you need to give her access to your account again. We need that money for the vacation deposit by Friday, or we lose the reservation. I hung up. Then I blocked Chloe's number too. Tyler called next. I let it go to voicemail. His message: Yo, Han, I don't know what your problem is, but you need to chill. Mom's crying, Dad's pissed, you're ruining the vacation for everyone. Just give Mom the money and stop being selfish. It's family. I deleted the message without listening to the rest. My father called. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hannah. His voice was tired. What's going on? Mom tried to withdraw $6,500 from my account without asking me. She said she thought you'd okayed it. How would I have okayed it, Dad? She never asked me. A pause. She said she mentioned it at Thanksgiving about needing help with the vacation deposit. She didn't mention it to me. She told me I wasn't invited, that vacation was for family without me. Those were her exact words. Another long pause. She didn't mean. Yes, she did. She meant it. And then she tried to take money from my account to pay for a vacation I'm not invited on. How is that okay? It's not about the vacation, Hannah. It's about family. We help each other. I've been helping for 3 years, over $30,000 worth of help. Phone bills, groceries, money for Tyler, money for Chloe's kids, all of it. I've been helping. And what did I get? Excluded from the family vacation and told I'm not really part of the family except when you need money. You want to go on vacation? Great. Pay for it yourselves. Hannah, don't do this. Your mother made a mistake, but it wasn't a mistake, Dad. It was theft, and I'm done. I hung up, blocked his number too. Then I sat on my couch in my small San Francisco apartment, surrounded by the life I'd built, and cried. Not because I regretted what I'd done, but because cutting off your family, even when they've treated you terribly, still hurts like hell. The next day, I woke up to 17 missed calls from various family members using friends' phones, and a long email from my mother. Subject line: You're breaking my heart. I almost didn't read it, but morbid curiosity won out. Hannah, I don't understand what's gotten into you. I am your mother. I raised you. I sacrificed everything for you. And this is how you repay me? By accusing me of theft? I was trying to help the family. You have so much, and we're struggling. The vacation was going to be a chance for all of us to reconnect, to spend time together. But you're so focused on money and your career that you can't see what's really important. Family is important. Family should come first. But you've changed. You've become cold and selfish. The Hannah I raised would never treat her family this way. I don't know who you are anymore. If you continue down this path, if you can't find it in your heart to forgive and help your family when we need you, then maybe you're right. Maybe you're not really part of this family anymore. But that's your choice, not ours. We'll still be here when you come to your senses. Love, Mom. I read it twice. Then I replied with one sentence. You tried to take $6,500 from my account without asking. That is theft, not sacrifice. I hit send and closed my laptop. My best friend Jamie called that afternoon. Okay, I've been following your social media silence and the fact that you've been weird all week. What's going on? I told her everything.
The vacation, the attempted withdrawal, the phone calls, all of it. When I finished, there was silence. Then, holy shit, Han. Yeah, your mom tried to rob you, basically, and then gaslit you about it in an email. Yep, and your family is mad at you for stopping her. That's the part that's really getting to me, I admitted. Like, how is this my fault? How am I the bad guy here? You're not. They're just used to you being the one who gives in, who keeps the peace, who sacrifices, and you stopped. That's what they're actually mad about. Not the money, the fact that you're not playing your role anymore. She was right. I knew she was right, but knowing didn't make it hurt less. The week before their scheduled vacation departure, things escalated. My mother showed up at my apartment building. I watched her through the door camera, standing in the lobby, pressing my buzzer over and over. I didn't let her in. She stood there for 20 minutes, pressing the buzzer, looking increasingly frustrated, before finally leaving. She left a note under my door. "Hannah, this is childish. We need to talk. Call me."
I threw it away. 2 days later, Chloe showed up. She got past the lobby security by following another resident in, knocked on my apartment door. I looked through the peephole, saw her standing there looking tired and frustrated, and considered not answering. But something made me open the door. I didn't invite her in. "What do you want, Chloe? Can I come in?" "No." She sighed. "Han, come on, don't be like this." "Be like what? Someone who doesn't want family members showing up unannounced? We're worried about you. You're worried about the vacation deposit." She flinched. "That's not fair. Isn't it? Did Mom tell you she tried to withdraw $6,500 from my account? She said she thought you'd agreed to help. How would I have agreed? She never asked me. Maybe she mentioned it and you don't remember. Chloe." I looked her dead in the eyes. "Do you genuinely believe that I agreed to pay $6,500 for a vacation I was explicitly uninvited from?" She looked away. "It's complicated." "No, it's not. It's really simple. Mom tried to take money without asking. I stopped her. That's it. But we're family, Han. You make good money. We're struggling. Tyler can barely afford rent. I've got 2 kids and 1 income since Greg's hours got cut. Mom and Dad are living paycheck to paycheck, and you're just hoarding money while we suffer. I'm not hoarding it. It's my money that I earned for my life. But we're family. Then act like it." My voice came out harder than I intended. "Act like family. Include me in family events. Don't tell me I'm not really part of the family. Don't try to steal from me. Act like family, and maybe I'll feel like family." She stared at me for a long moment. "I didn't know she said that. The vacation thing. Yes, you did. You were sitting right there. I didn't think she meant it like that. How else could she have meant it?" Chloe looked exhausted suddenly. "I don't know, Han. I don't know. Everything's such a mess. The vacation's probably not happening now anyway. We can't make the deposit without your money. Mom's devastated. Dad's not speaking to anyone. Tyler's mad because he took time off work that he can't afford to lose. And you're just cutting us all off." "I'm not cutting you off. I'm setting boundaries. What's the difference? Cutting you off would be refusing to ever speak to any of you again. Setting boundaries is saying I won't be treated like a piggy bank and excluded from family events in the same breath, that I won't be stolen from, that I deserve basic respect." "You're making this about respect? It's about money. No, it's about what the money represents. The vacation comment, the attempted withdrawal, all of it. It shows how you all see me as a resource, not a person, not a sister or daughter, a resource. Chloe's eyes filled with tears. That's not true. Then why wasn't I invited on the vacation? She didn't have an answer to that. After she left, I poured myself a large glass of wine and sat by my window, looking out at the San Francisco skyline. My phone buzzed. An email from my father. Hannah, you're tearing this family apart. I'm asking you, please, to reconsider. Help us with the vacation deposit. Let's move past this. Family is forever. I deleted it without responding. The vacation didn't happen. I found out through a mutual cousin who wasn't involved in the drama. Apparently, without my $6,500, they couldn't make the deposit. They tried to find alternatives, a cheaper rental, different dates, something, but nothing worked with their budget. The whole trip fell apart. And according to my cousin Elena, who called me a week later, my family blamed me entirely. Your mom is telling everyone you refused to help the family when they needed you, that you cut them off financially out of spite. That's not what happened. I know. Your mom also mentioned the bank thing to my mother, and my mother told me the truth, that your mom tried to withdraw money without telling you. Thank you for believing me. Of course I believe you. Han, I've watched your family treat you like the responsible, boring one while they coddled Tyler and put Chloe on a pedestal. I'm honestly surprised you didn't snap sooner. I'm not trying to hurt them. I'm just trying to protect myself. I know, and for what it's worth, I think you're doing the right thing. Those words meant more than she probably knew. 3 months passed. Radio silence from my family. I'd blocked most of their numbers, but I checked social media occasionally. They'd apparently taken a different, much cheaper vacation to Lake Tahoe instead. The photos showed forced smiles and budget accommodations. Comments from family friends asking, "Didn't you guys go to Hawaii?" My mother responding, "Plans changed. Family circumstances." She was still playing the victim. I focused on my life, got a promotion at work, started saving seriously. Within 2 months, I'd saved more than I ever had now that I wasn't hemorrhaging money to family expenses. Booked a solo trip to Japan, something I'd wanted to do for years but never felt I could afford. Went to therapy and talked through the guilt and grief of cutting off family. My therapist asked me once, "Do you think your family will ever understand why you did this?" "Probably not," I admitted. "Does that bother you?" "It used to, but I'm realizing they don't have to understand. They just have to respect my boundaries. And if they can't do that, then maybe distance is healthier for everyone." In month 4, Tyler reached out. Not from a blocked number, from a friend's phone, I guess. He left a voicemail. "Hey, it's Tyler. Look, I don't really get what happened. Mom says you're mad about the vacation and the bank thing. I don't know all the details. But I wanted to say, I'm sorry for whatever part I played. I've been thinking about all the times you helped me out. Money for rent, for my car, all of it. I never really thanked you. I just took it for granted that you'd always be there to bail me out. That wasn't fair. I'm trying to do better now. Got a better job, actually making rent on my own. Anyway, I'm sorry. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." I saved the voicemail, but didn't respond. Not yet. Maybe someday. But his apology, as imperfect as it was, meant something. 6 months after the bank incident, I was packing for my Japan trip when Alina called again. "I'm breaking girl code to tell you this, but I think you should know. Your mom's been talking to people about suing you." My stomach dropped. Suing me for what? She's claiming the money in that joint account was hers, that you had no right to close it without her permission. She's been talking to a lawyer. I felt cold all over. That's insane. I was the primary account holder. It was my money. She was just added as a joint holder for emergencies when I was in college. I know, and most people she talks to tell her she has no case. But she's not doing well. The vacation thing really messed her up.
She's obsessing over it. Over you, over the money. It's like she's made this the defining thing in her life, proving you were wrong. What does Dad say? He's staying out of it mostly. I think he knows she's wrong, but doesn't want to go against her. Chloe's trying to calm her down. Tyler's staying out of it entirely. But your mom, she's convinced she's the victim here. After we hung up, I did something I'd been avoiding. I called a lawyer. Not because I thought my mother would actually sue, she had no case, but because I wanted to be prepared, wanted to know my rights, wanted documentation of everything. The lawyer listened to my story, reviewed the documents I'd kept, and gave me the reassurance I needed. You did everything correctly. The account was in your name. She had no legal right to withdraw funds without your explicit permission. If she tries to sue, she'll lose. Moreover, you'd have grounds for a countersuit, though I wouldn't recommend it unless she actually files. I don't want to sue my mother. I just want her to leave me alone.
Then document everything. Keep records. Don't engage. And if she does sue, we'll deal with it then. She never did sue. According to Elena, her lawyer told her the same thing mine told me. She had no case, and pursuing it would likely backfire. My mother apparently raged about it for weeks. Then gradually, the anger seemed to turn into something else. Depression, maybe. Or just acceptance. I didn't reach out. I was done making the first move. Done being the one who smoothed over things. If my family wanted a relationship with me, it would have to be on new terms. Terms that included basic respect and boundaries. I'm writing this now, sitting in a Tokyo hotel room on the last night of my trip. It's been almost a year since the Thanksgiving dinner that started all of this. A year since vacations for family without you. A year since the attempted withdrawal that showed me exactly how my family saw me. This trip, 2 weeks in Japan, all planned and paid for by myself, has been incredible. I've seen temples and mountains and city lights. I've eaten food that made me cry. I've met other solo travelers and shared stories. I've been completely, utterly myself without worrying about anyone else's expectations or needs. And I've realized something. I'm not lonely. I'm free. A few weeks ago, before I left for this trip, something unexpected happened. My father called from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hannah? His voice was tentative. Dad, don't hang up, please. I need to say something. I waited. I'm sorry for all of it. For not speaking up at Thanksgiving, for not stopping your mother at the bank, for expecting you to always be the one to bend, to give, to sacrifice, for treating your success like it belonged to all of us instead of being proud that you built a life for yourself. I'm sorry. I felt tears prick my eyes. Thank you. I'm not asking you to forgive us or to come back. I'm just asking you to know that I see it now, what we did, what we took from you, and I'm sorry. Is Mom? Your mother's not ready. She may never be. She still thinks she was justified, that family should share everything and you refusing makes you selfish. I've tried to explain. She doesn't want to hear it. So I'm calling on my own, because whether she admits it or not, we were wrong. We talked for an hour about nothing and everything. He didn't ask for money, didn't ask me to fix things with Mom, just talked to me, like a person he wanted to know, not a problem to solve. At the end of the call, I said, I'm going to Japan next month. That's wonderful, sweetheart. I'm happy for you. Thank you for calling, Dad. Thank you for picking up. It's not reconciliation, not fully, but it's something. A thread of connection that might someday rebuild into a different kind of relationship, one based on mutual respect instead of obligation. As for the rest of my family, I don't know. Chloe sends occasional texts from new numbers that I don't block, but also don't really respond to. Tyler's apology voicemail is still saved on my phone. My mother hasn't reached out at all. And I'm okay with that.
all of it. The distance, the uncertainty, the knowledge that some relationships might never be repaired. Because I finally learned something crucial. You can't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. You can't sacrifice your well-being, your boundaries, your self-respect just to maintain relationships with people who don't respect you. My family taught me I was responsible, reliable, the one who could handle anything. And they were right. I am responsible. Responsible for my own life, my own happiness, my own boundaries. I am reliable. I can rely on myself. I can handle anything, including the pain of choosing myself over people who refused to choose me. I came to Japan alone, but I'm not lonely. I'm standing in my power, living in my worth, building a life that belongs to me, funded by me, defined by me. And that life? It's pretty damn good. My mom said vacation was for family without me, so I took a vacation without them, and I've never felt more like I belonged exactly where I was. To anyone reading this who's ever been the family ATM, the responsible one, the one who always gives and never receives, you're allowed to stop. You're allowed to set boundaries. You're allowed to say no. And you're allowed to choose yourself, even when, especially when, your family makes you feel selfish for it. The only person's approval you truly need is your own. The only family you can't divorce is yourself. Choose you, protect you, and if that means some people get left behind, that's not cruelty, that's survival. Vacations for family. And sometimes you have to become your own family first.